Om Sri Sai Ram. Hearty welcome to Sri Sathya Sai Lok Seva Gurukulam online classes and the chapter on sources of energy. I think all of you are full of energy now, having sufficient breakfast or lunch or dinner. So note down some of the points. I think you are ready with a pen and a book. Just we will see what we have studied in the previous class. We will have a glance about it, right? The first thing we have seen is definition of energy. Energy is the capacity to do work. Whole universe is filled with the motion and energy, says the definition of physics. And matter can be converted into energy, energy can be converted into matter. So, in this energy, it is measured by a unit called joules, named after the scientist, Prescott Joule. Also, we have seen the different kinds of energy like mechanical energy. There are two important types, kinetic and potential. And also you have heard about heat energy, light energy, the most important electric energy, and so on. Is it not? And the most important source of energy is sun. It is called as solar energy. So all these are different types of energies. This energy can be classified into two types. One is called as non-renewable form of energy. Another one is renewable source of energy. Under non-renewable you have fossil fuels and nuclear energy. When you say fossil fuels, you have coal, petroleum and natural gas. Why it is called as non-renewable? Because the source is limited, it gets exhausted. Say around 30-35 years, the whole petrol and diesel will come to a full stop. So also natural gas. That's why it is called as non-renewable energy. And one more source which is not related to sun is nuclear energy. The energy between the nucleons, namely protons and neutrons. When protons and neutrons are bombarded by a neutron of suitable velocity, it gives enormous amount of energy. There are two types. One is called as nuclear fission, where there is a breaking of a nucleus. Another one is called as a nuclear fusion. In nuclear fission, we are using heavy metals like uranium, thorium, etc. And nuclear fusion, light elements like hydrogen is made use of. Anyway, it is one of the sources of energy. And the main use of the nuclear energy now is converting nuclear energy into electric energy. And a device called nuclear reactor. You heard about Trombe, Kalpakam, Tarapur, and in Karnataka, Kaiga. We have nuclear reactors where nuclear energy is converted into electric energy. All these things we have seen in your previous class. Also we have started studying about solar and wind energy. They are all renewable because until the sun is there, solar energy is there. And wind energy also, wind, sun, all these are free of cost. Even water also, all God given gift. So you must be grateful to God for giving everything free. Okay, now let us see the home assignment. Name any one alternative source of energy which you would like to use in your home. Answer is solar energy, because it is free and easily available in the area in which we live. And what are the uses of solar energy? In some places they use for cooking. Mainly they use for water heating. Now they have used it in cars also. Solar cars have come. And calculators, mobile phone also, solar. They experimented successfully. Second question is, list any 5 traditional uses of solar energy. It is used for drying of clothes. Especially in rainy season, you find the difficulty of drying because sun shine will be very less. And for heating water, and also for drying of crops, and breeding and raising chickens, and drying manure. All these require solar energy. Okay. Now coming to today's topic, what is called as hydroelectric power. What do you mean by hydroelectric power? It is a power obtained from the moving water. Usually they collect it after building a dam for the moving water. You can see this hydroelectric power station. What is the first hydroelectric power station in Karnataka? In Karnataka and in India and in Asia. First one is called as Shimsha or Shivana Samudram. It is for which river? For Kaveri river. In which district? Mandya district. Okay. So that is one of the hydroelectric stations, and where these are what is called as generating stations, and this is the water, and this is the power stations where the moving water is made to flow, is made to rotate the turbines, and these turbines generate electricity. Okay, this is what is called as hydroelectric power. So let us see the advantages. It is a source of renewable energy because water is there. As far as water is there, you can get hydroelectric power by building suitable dams, and the cost is effective and it is productive because, for example, Bharat Ratna Vishweshwaraya, when he had been to Jog, how many have seen Jog? Why Jog is famous for? Yeah, waterfalls, biggest, I can say highest in India, something like 900 feet. Such a waterfalls, everybody will enjoy that falls. But Vishweshwaraya said, What a colossal waste of energy, he said. Immediately he thought of putting dams, and the dam is called as Linganamaki Dam, and there hydroelectricity is produced, and that is being sent to all parts of Karnataka. All the people of Karnataka should be grateful to the master engineer who was the main reason for that. Even KRS also, the dam was built by the help of the Mysore king and also the engineer like Vishweshwaraya. Okay, so it can produce electricity also. The moving water is made to rotate the turbines. These turbines in turn will produce electricity by the help of generators. So there is no wastage or pollution and no chemicals. No, nothing like adding any chemicals for that. And there is no pollution also. And the water that is used will be reused for other purposes like irrigation. So whatever water comes out of the dam, it is made to flow in canals. If you go to KRS, you will find the Vishweshwaraya canal, one of the biggest canals, where the water is given for agriculture purpose. Okay, so that is an advantage of hydroelectric power. Now let us see the limitations or disadvantages of a hydroelectric power. First one is, it cannot be sited at a place of our choice because there should be a strong current. Current means not the electric current here. Current means current of water. Just like falls, there should be a strong current of water. Then only you have a good source of electricity. Okay. And for setting up something, it is very expensive because for building a dam, a lot of villages will be involved and those villages will be evacuated. If you go to Alamatti Dam in Bagalkot district, thousands of houses are evacuated. They have been asked to form a different city there called as New Bagalkot. Thousands have been shifted because all the older village was submerged in water. So when you shift like that, there should be a good compensation to be given for the villages. So that's why it is very expensive. And also construction of dam also is expensive because the place will be very conducive, very narrow in nature. So construction of dam also is costly. There need to be a sufficient and continuously strong water current to produce energy. Therefore, you cannot build dam at all places. So now coming to the next renewable energy, source of renewable energy, it is called as geothermal energy. What do you mean geo? Geo means earth. What is thermal? Thermal means heat. Heat got from earth. That is what is called as geothermal. And when you say heat got from the bowels of the earth means, where do you get heat? Then you must know what about layers of the earth. Suppose you go on digging the earth here, we find 4 layers. The topmost layer is called as earth crust. It is up to 100 kilometers. So that's what we see in Earth's surface. We have oceans here, mountains here, plain lands here, trees, forest, all this. This is called as Earth's crust. So up to 100 kilometers. And it is also called as lithosphere. Why it is called lithosphere? It consists of rocks. Then within that you have what is called as mantle. Up to a depth of 2900 kilometers you have mantle. What does the mantle consist of? It consists of metals like iron, nickel, cobalt, etc. in a semi-liquid state. That's why the name mantle. And within that you have what is called as outer core up to say 5100 kilometers within the earth, and within that you have what is called as inner core, which is about 6378 kilometers. That is the radius of the earth surface. So same way you can have an apple. The shape of the earth is called as geoid. What is speciality of geoid? A geoid is compressed at the top and it is bulged at the middle, is it not? Just like apple. Apple has outermost layer, or what may be something like orange, or it may be red. That is like crust. Inside that you have a juicy substance, just like a mantle. Inside that there is one inner substance that is called as outer core. Within that you find some seeds, black seeds, black or brown seeds. That is what is called as inner core. So if you cut an apple, it's just like cutting an earth surface. But the most wonderful thing is that you have got a very high temperature, and how to take out the temperature from within is a very great challenge. It is of the order of 6000 to 7000 degrees Celsius. How to take the temperature is really a challenge, because all metals, non-metals, all this will melt off. But if once you take it out, it will be a very good source of energy. And this the energy that is present in mantle, it comes out. What you call it as lava, and that is what is called as geothermal energy. So geothermal energy is the energy obtained from internal heat of the earth. Where did you get it? You get it has got some volcanic features and also in geothermal hot spots. Why it is called hot spot? Because of the very high temperature. Basically, hot spot is an area of reduced thickness in the mantle. Thickness is less, there you find all these things, hot spots. And excess in internal heat from the interior of the earth to the outer crust. So the interior heat comes out to the outer crust. And these hot spots are well known for the unique effects seen in the earth's surface, such as the volcanic islands. Can you name some of the famous volcanoes in the world? Yeah, Japan you have, and you might have heard about Vesuvius and Pompeii. Okay, in Japan you have got Fusiyama. This volcano is very common in Japan. Earthquake also, and volcano also very common. And the hot springs also are seen some of the places. And these hot springs can be made use of for geothermal energy because of the very high temperature that is produced. That is used for heating the water, and you get what is called as steam, and this steam is made use of to turn the turbines and to generate electricity. Okay, so this is about geothermal energy. Some advantages of geothermal energy. It does not create any pollution because they are the energy from hot water, and they have a low running cost. Maintenance only must see, because it comes out from within. Maintenance cost, the production cost is less. As in case of hydroelectricity, the production cost is very high, and moreover there is no cost of purchasing, transporting and cleaning up of fuels. For example, in nuclear energy, lot of money is to be invested for separation of isotopes, and they should be shifted from one place to another. But here such things will not happen. And then geothermal power plants are excellent source of clean and inexpensive renewable energy. Clean because the water, that is boiled water. Even if you go to Ganeshpuri near Bombay, we find some hot springs there. You can take hot water bath. Or if you go to Badri, we get a very high, even though the outside temperature is very less, you can get a very high temperature water there, up to 70 degrees Celsius. Very nice it is. It is a very unique feature of the earth's surface. So it can be used to produce electricity 24 hours a day, non-stop. And geothermal power plants are generally small and have little effect on the natural landscape or the near environment. It won't disturb the plants or animals, etc. So these are some of the advantages of geothermal energy. Now let us see the limitations. If harnessed incorrectly, geothermal energy can produce pollutants. So all it should be harnessed properly, it should be made use of properly. Otherwise there will be pollutions. Improper drilling into the earth can release hazardous minerals and gases. So if it is drilled improperly, means not in a proper way, it will cause hazardous gases and minerals, which will actually stop a full stop, or it will hinder the production of electricity. Geothermal power plant sites are prone to running out of steam in long run. So after long time, the production of steam will be less, and hence geothermal energy also will be less in production. So these are some of the limitations of geothermal energy. And here is some very interesting thing you must note. Earth can be divided into three large sections: mantle, inner core and outer core, and there is one more called as earth crust, that is outside surface. The inner core is the center of the earth. It is having a temperature of about 7000 degrees Celsius. High temperature earth's core is basic reason behind the geothermal energy. So below what we are standing in the earth, this is called earth crust. If you go or if you drill bore wells, one day you may reach that what is called as, after the earth crust you have got mantle, within that you have outer core, within that you have inner core, right? So after knowing the limitations of this geothermal energy, you must think of some other source of energy. One of them is called as ocean energy. Can I name some oceans of the world? What is the biggest ocean? Yes, it is Pacific Ocean, is the biggest ocean. Then you have Atlantic Ocean, you have Indian Ocean and so on. But difference between ocean and the sea. Sea is a limited area. Ocean is a large area. And from ocean also we can get energy. There are three types of getting the ocean energy. One is called wave power. I think most of you have seen sea. Is it that Arabian Sea? How many have seen? Raise your hands. Arabian Sea on the western side of India and Bay of Bengal the eastern side of India. What do you get in south? Indian Ocean. So all are sea water only. What do you see there? We see some waves there. So you can use wave power, and you can get tidal power also, and ocean temperature variations. Usually what happens, due to the sunlight which falls on the surface of the water, the top layer gets heated up quickly. So it will be very hot. But once you go inside, the temperature decreases. So that is what is called as variation. So this variation in temperature also is made use of. And this is one figure for producing electricity from ocean water. Here this is what is called waves. The waves are made to enter into a chamber. And when the waves enter, this will rotate a generator, the ups and downs of the waves, the pressure with which it comes inside, rotates the turbines here. And this kinetic energy is converted into electric energy. These turbines connected to a generator, and the generator produces electricity. And of course, it is not yet come to the final stage, experimental stage it is there. Anyway, it is one of the good solutions for the production of electricity. So here the air that is coming, it goes out. Again the air is coming inside in the side direction. Okay, so this is a figure which shows ocean water, how ocean water can convert into electrical energy. So that is called as wave power. When you say waves, it has got two things. One is ups and downs. Another is back and forth. You might have seen the waves coming forward, and after coming to the shores it comes back also. So there are two types of movement for the ocean waves. These are used to force air in and out of chamber. You have seen the chamber now, and drive a piston. You have seen the piston, and that piston, this is what is called as piston. And this piston moves, and when the piston moves, or spin a turbine that can power generator. Here kinetic energy exists, and the moving waves of the ocean. So as the ocean waves move, there will be what is called as kinetic energy that is made use of to produce electric energy. That energy can be used to power a turbine. In the given figure, we can see that when the wave rises into a chamber, it forces the air out of the chamber. The moving air spins the turbine, which turns a generator. So this air that is coming inside forces for the movement of turbine, which produces electricity. So because of the waves that are coming inside, there will be wave produced, and this is what is called as chamber, and this is a air that is coming inside. So that air will make the movement for the turbines, and unnecessary air will go out. So this is one of the very good methods of getting electricity. So the air spins a turbine which can turn a generator. When the wave goes down, air flows through the turbine and back into the chamber through the doors that are normally closed. So when the air wave come inside, they will be pushing. So when the wave subside down, the reverse process take place. Anyway, this is one of the waves production of methods of production of electricity. Now let us see applications of ocean wave water. Presently, ocean wave power is being used in small lighthouses and warning buoys. So it is very much used in Canada and France because it depends on the velocity of the wave. It is very good in places like Canada and France, and it is being used there where the tidal energy is made use of for production of electricity. So tidal energy of ocean can also be harnessed by trapping the water of high tide, capturing its energy as it rushes out, drops into a low tide. So you get high tides. When you get high tides, usually if you observe the ocean in a new moon day or full moon day, we have very high tides. You might have heard about tsunamis. What is tsunami? Tsunami is one of the very disastrous things. Other day you heard about that. Lot of people are washed out in Pondicherry and Chennai beach. Is it not? So it is a uncontrollable wave. Whereas if it is controllable, the what do you call it, tide, high tide. So this, by the help of high tide, the kinetic energy of the tide is made use of to turn the turbine, hence the electricity is produced. So when tides come to the shore, they can be trapped in reservoirs behind the dams. So you have to consider a dam there. And when the tide drops, the water behind the dam can be let out just like a regular hydroelectric power plant. In hydroelectric power plant, what they do? They will have canals and make the water move. No? Similarly, here also, when the tide comes down, the water can be used for other purposes. So if you go to Canada and France, it is one of the very highly producing electric generator. You can see that where the tidal energy is made use of. One more is the ocean water temperature variation. Just now I was telling about that. Difference between the top surface in the deep of the sea you find very cold, and in the surface of the sea you can find what is called as hot. Why it is hot? Because sun rays are falling straight into the water, so it will be very hot on the top. And if you go inside, and what do you call them who go inside water? We call them as divers, ocean divers. Not driver, ocean divers. What they should carry? They should carry oxygen. Why they should carry oxygen? Because there is no proper oxygen within the water level. And why should they dive? They dive for different purposes, even to collect pearls also, even to collect some seashells and many other things. They dive deep into the ocean water. It is used to extract energy from the flow of heat between the two. Heat between the two means what? The hot temperature, that is the surface, and the cold that is inside the ocean. So there is a difference between the two. That is what is called as ocean thermal energy conversion, OTEC. Power plants can be built that use this temperature difference to generate electricity. So top surface is hot, the inner surface is cold. So there is a variation in temperature. This can be made use of for production of electricity. In Japan and Hawaii, you have these demonstration projects, and you have to construct dams also, and is one of the very good sources of energy, because the variation in the temperature is made use of for production of electricity. And what are the advantages? The energy potential of an ocean is very large, because ocean is so vast, particularly tidal basins. The tides are constant and predictable, and that water's natural density requires fewer turbines than needed to produce the same amount of wind power. So, and by the way, what is the taste of sea water? Yes, taste of sea water is salty. And can you name one of the richest source of petroleum in the sea in India? Yes, it is in Bombay High, about 30 kilometers from the Bombay seashores, and they have dug bore wells. It's a very great challenge. The whole world has saluted Indian engineers and scientists for discovering petroleum, and that has been taken out. So here the tides are constant and predictable, means the tide should be continuously coming. There is no stop, no holiday, no weekend, and that's why it's easy to use them for production of electricity. Okay, and these tidal energy systems can have environmental impacts on tidal basins because of reduced tidal flow and silt built up. Silt built up means if the other minerals present in water forms what is called as silt. Just as in hard water you might have heard about silt. So that are some of the advantages of ocean energy. Now let us see. Now the formation of silt is a disadvantage. And now coming to the home assignments, what kind of mirror, concave, convex or plane, would be best suited for using in a solar cooker? Why? What are the limitations of energy that can be obtained from the ocean? What is geothermal energy? Name two energy sources that you would consider to be renewable. Give reasons for your choices. Okay, come prepared for that. Thank you.